And we're live. Waiting for some people to join. Friday night. What's everybody doing tonight? Are you working on your business? Are you visiting friends? Are you visiting family? Friday night. What's going on? What's happening? Just started a YouTube channel. Well, I didn't just start it, but at Justin Jack Bear into coaching, wealth management, wellness. It's probably too early to have a live. Everybody's still at work. Everyone's still driving home from work. I'm going to jump back on here shortly. Leaf blowers. All day, every day. Just leaves everywhere. It's Friday night. What's going on tonight? Check out my YouTube at Justin Jack Bear. I'm going to share with you with some on how to get at least 100 grand in the bank in 5 years. At least. I'm betting I can help you make $1 million in 5 years. If you got $5 a day that you can spare, $5 a day, maybe you have $4 a day, maybe you have $3 a day, maybe you have $2 a day, maybe you only have $1 a day for a whole year, every single day. You can make yourself a millionaire in 5 years with $5 a day. I'm out here working with communities and groups and nonprofits and educators and mentors. I'm teaching people how to use technology as tools, how to use your phone to make a living. I mean, why else do you use a cell phone? The cell phone has so many means of communication, but it's all just time, energy, and attention sucking cell phones. And then your identity, your phone habits are used and sold to target more consumerism, target ads, exploiting your information, your data. So I'm doing a lot of work around data sovereignty with a new internet computer protocol that basically your data is your information. It belongs to you on your own private cloud. And as part of my mentorship, go check out my YouTube channel at Justin Jack Bear. I'm teaching people how to become wealthy with just $5 a day. $5 a day, every day, for 5 years. And I guarantee that you'll have at least 100 grand in the bank. At least. I've been really fortunate, but I've also sacrificed a lot to get to this point where I can now teach people, educate people on the tools of technology and how to improve your situation. Now, I know it sucks to be totally dependent and reliant on technology. It's not everything. It's not here to replace human connection. And you still have to embody, embrace, spirituality into your business, because it's one of the downfalls of corporations and corporate industry is that there's no real connection with the people and the culture and possibly where you work. So if you're working a 9 to 5, if you're working in construction, you're working 10-hour days, 12-hour days, and people are still struggling to get ahead. People are still working 2 jobs. People are still working Krista, you want to be in this video? This is my first live, by the way. I don't know what it means for someone to join the video, but maybe it was by mistake. In any case, people are struggling. People are struggling. It's always the same. It's always the same idea. Since the pandemic and the cost of living and the downgrading of our food and industrial agriculture and health, and like people are getting cancer, and it's so many more. Just people are struggling, and how do you make extra money? How do you create extra time? How do you make more space for the things that you love? And that's what I teach on my YouTube channel at Justin Jack Bear. Regardless, long story short, thanks for joining. Thanks for having a look. Really just out here teaching people on how to, time, energy, and attention is your greatest currency. It's your wealth. We have to stop giving that away to people, places, and things that don't serve us. And, that's where you find more time to do the things that matter. Get involved with communities and programs and classes and workshops. It's always good to do these extracurricular things for good health, good mind, good spirit. So, I'm going to start doing more lives, putting out new videos on YouTube. I've had a lot of great success after years and years and years and years of failing. Um, Failing at business has been, well, it's the greatest thing that could happen to an individual. And I often talk about this as athletes that, athletes, they win and lose more frequently every day because of the sport they're playing. They win and lose every day more than the average person. And what ends up happening is the refractory time between winning and losing from today until tomorrow, having to play another game. Athletes have to forget about what happened yesterday, literally have to forget about what happened yesterday, think about what they need to improve on, and the next day they have to go out and they have to make a living, or they have to play the sport. And in order to play or win the sport, they have to take each new game as a new opportunity to do the right things, to practice the fundamentals. And a lot of practicing fundamentals of the mind and the body comes from preparation. And preparation can happen the day before. Everything that you do and consume and practice the day before will come into practice the next day. And the next day you can actually prime yourself in the mornings. Prime your mind, positive psychology. Prime yourself to have a great day, a successful day. And so when you start to practice and program your subconscious through the way that you think, because what you think and what you speak becomes a reality, you can make big changes in your life with the littlest adjustments in your day-to-day. So a lot can happen in a year, a lot can change in a year, a lot can change in 6 months. But the whole point of this live, the point of my YouTube at Justin Jack Bear, is that I'm going to teach you how to invest your time, energy, and attention so that you can spend more time doing the things that you love, spending time with friends, family, and working on your business on the side if that's your real passion. If you're working for somebody else, or your dream isn't working at the job you're working at, if it never was the dream, what was your dream as a kid? What did you want to do? What's something that you wanted the most out of life that you never got to do, you never got to try, you never got to pursue? So YouTube at Justin Jack Bear, I have a couple of financial investments that have done really, really well. There's one really undervalued technology that's being used right now. That's a new layer of the internet. It's called the Internet Computer Protocol. It's a very, very undervalued investment. If you have $5 a day that you can invest in this new technology, $5 a day, every day, for 5 years, and I know that you'll be a millionaire. You will make yourself a millionaire. How do I know this? Well, I've taken a lot of my traditional business scaling strategies and I've applied it to this new technology, that getting in at the right time is actually required in order to capitalize on situations. So when somebody comes to you with an offer of a lifetime, let's say for your dream job, someone says, hey, if you quit your job today, if I told you you could have your dream job, would you quit your job today? If you knew that your rent and your mortgage and everything, all your costs of life and living and expenses were covered, let's say for the next 12 months, would you quit your job to go and do something that you always wanted to do? Let's say start a dream job, work in a dream job, no interviews, just whatever it is that you want. Would you do it? The question is, would you do it? If you never had to work again for money, if money was never a factor, what would you spend your days doing? Your passions, your projects, friends, family. Stop trading time for money. You just have to have the right information and you have to speak with the right people in order to understand how you can maximize, put your money to work and conserve your time, energy, and attention for learning how to get ahead. I've had to make so many bad decisions and have failed businesses and, lost money many different ways on investments. But as soon as you take control of your own investment, all you have to do is have access to information. Most people don't have the time to study 500 hours a year to become a pro or a master at what they're researching, what they're studying. Like most doctors go to school for 5, 6, 7, 8 years. But no one in the real world that has a degree of 4 years or doesn't have a degree has the time to study 500 hours a year into something that's going to improve their situation. That's the reality of things. Most people just want to do it alone, or they want to work in a comfortable job. They don't want to make any changes. They want to stick to the comfort and the routine. And then when something bad happens, somebody gets sick, somebody dies, there's a layoff, you lose your job, you get injured at work. There's all these things that we don't plan for, we don't expect. And that's the whole point, is that you have to set yourself up for, for the future, for yourself. So that's what we're talking about on here. $5 a day. Reach out to me, send me a DM, send me a message, comment, like, go to YouTube, subscribe. I'm going to teach people how to get in on this tech investment. $5 a day, you can do it yourself. It's just one way that you can build confidence in, how to use your cell phone while you're working your 9 to 5, while you're working your day job, while you're off working with someone else. Put your money to work. Money sitting in the bank doesn't do you any good. So, but anyway, thanks for stopping by. Thanks for hanging out for a few minutes. That's my live session for now. And yeah, I'll be back on soon.